Cruise ships are large passenger ships used mainly for vacationing. Unlike ocean liners, which are used for transport, they typically embark on round-trip voyages to various ports of call where passengers may go on tours known as shore excursions. On cruises to nowhere or nowhere voyages, cruise ships make 2 to 3 night round trips without visiting any ports of call. Modern cruise ships, while sacrificing some qualities of seaworthiness, have added amenities to cater to water tourists, with recent vessels being described as balcony-laden floating condominiums. Operators of cruise ships are known as cruise lines, which are companies that sell cruises to the public. Cruise lines have a dual character. They are partly in the transportation business, and partly in the leisure entertainment business, a duality that carries down into the ships themselves, which have both a crew headed by the ship's captain, and a hospitality staff headed by the equivalent of a hotel manager. Historically, the cruise ship business has been volatile. The ships are large capital investments with high operating costs. A persistent decrease in bookings can put a company in financial jeopardy. Cruise lines have sold, renovated, or renamed their ships to keep up with travel trends. Cruise lines operate their ships almost constantly. If the maintenance is unscheduled, it can result, potentially, in thousands of dissatisfied customers. The common practice in the cruise industry in listing cruise ship transfers and orders is to list the smaller operating company, not the larger holding corporation, as the recipient cruise line of the sale, transfer, or new order. In other words, Carnival Cruise Line and Holland America Line, for example, are the cruise lines from this common industry practice point of view, whereas Carnival Corporation at Plessy and Royal Caribbean Cruises Limited, for example, can be considered holding corporations of cruise lines. This industry practice of using the smaller operating company, not the larger holding corporation, is also followed in the list of cruise lines and in member-based reviews of cruise lines. Some cruise lines have specialties. For example, Saga Cruises only allows passengers over 50 years old aboard their ships, and Star Clippers and formerly Windjammer Barefoot Cruises and Windstar Cruises only operate tall ships. Regent Seven Seas Cruises operates medium-sized vessels, smaller than the mega ships of Carnival and Royal Caribbean, designed such that virtually all of their suites are balconies. Several specialty lines offer expedition cruising, or only operate small ships visiting certain destinations such as the Arctic and Antarctica, or the Galapagos Islands. John W. Brown, which formerly operated as part of the United States Merchant Marine during World War II before being converted to a museum ship, still gets underway several times a year for 6-hour, living history cruises, that take the ship through Baltimore Harbor, down the Patapsco River, and into the Chesapeake Bay, and she is also the largest cruise ship operating under the American flag on the United States East Coast. Cruise ships generate a number of waste streams that can result in discharges to the marine environment, including sewage, greywater, hazardous wastes, oily bilge water, ballast water, and solid waste. They also emit air pollutants to the air and water. These wastes, if not properly treated and disposed of, can be a significant source of pathogens, nutrients, and toxic substances with the potential to threaten human health and damage aquatic life. The average cruise ship passenger capacity is around 3,000 guests for ocean liners and around 150 guests for bigger river cruise ships. The largest cruise ship passenger capacity is 5,412 at double occupancy, and 6,318 at 18 max capacity if all berths are occupied. Most cruise ships run primarily on heavy fuel oil HFO, bunker fuel, which, because of its high sulfur content, results in sulfur dioxide emissions worse than those of equivalent road traffic. The International MARPOL IV-14 Agreement for Sulfur Emission Control Areas requires less than 0.10% sulfur in the fuel, contrasting with heavy fuel oil. Cruise ships may use 60% of the fuel energy for propulsion, and 40% for hotel functions, but loads and distribution depend highly on conditions. Thank you for watching.